Elisabeth Kubler Ross defined 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. These attributes of our emotional makeup are most often applied to accepting our own death or the death of a loved one, but they really apply across the board to any difficult circumstance we might find ourselves in. This Lent, we were thrown a curveball. We've lost our social outlets and our interactions to a degree. We have fewer opportunities to put our daily feelers out there, to get a sense for ourselves relative to others. With a great unknown about the coronavirus, our first reaction was denial and disbelief, followed closely by fear. Last week, I focused on fasting from fear and hopelessness. But we've been in this situation now for several weeks, and I think anger is beginning to set in. At least it is in my mind. What on earth do we have to be angry about? Well, I'm not so much angry about having to stay at home. I've worked from home for years and years. But other things seem to cause me to be annoyed so much easier than before. Or maybe I'm just noticing. It's worth mentioning that there are different types of anger. There's justified anger, and then there's wrathful anger. Well, where does annoyance fit in? Well, annoyance is a lesser degree or a smaller dose of anger. So it falls into those same 2 categories. Is it justified or is it wrathful? Justified anger is about being angry about something that we're supposed to be angry about. That type of anger should drive us to push for change. It falls under that 4th beatitude. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for justice. It's a call to action, but be aware. This type of anger can still be toxic to us. If we stop at the anger and never move towards resolution, or if we don't believe change will ever come. This is what we need to watch out for, whether it's a small annoyance or full-blown anger. Wrathful anger, on the other hand, is always toxic. There's no call to action for a higher cause. It's simply anger, and it eats away at us until we end up taking an action that could destroy another person, like revenge or manipulation or libel. Of course, these are extremes. There's a full range from small annoyances to true wrath. We might think that as long as we don't act on it, we're okay. Or maybe if we vent, we still might be okay. But toxic emotions, justified or unjustified, are insidious. They change us for the worse, just as positive emotions change us for the better. There's a reason why Jesus preached forgiveness. It is the antidote for anger and annoyances of all kinds. When we can receive forgiveness for ourselves and then pass that forgiveness on to others, we can be freed of our angers. And then love can begin to replace those places within us that once were filled with anger. I can't express how important this is to our journey of faith, to our journey through this humanity that we share with billions of people. If we don't forgive, we cannot be forgiven. That is, we cannot heal if we don't work for the healing of others. And we desperately need healing of the many wounds that we suffer in our lives. If you're angry, face it, own it. Decide what it is. Is it justified or not? If it is justified, then do something about it. But first, release the anger to God and allow Him to heal your heart. If it's justified, but you can't affect change, release the anger in favor of trusting God. If the anger is not justified, pray. Dive into that anger in the light of God's mercy and find the root Allow God to walk through that exploration with you so that He can heal what needs to be healed. This isn't a one and done kind of a thing, though it can be. Generally, it takes a few cycles, so try and try again. In these last weeks of Lent, choose to fast from anger. Work hard at that. Little annoyances, big annoyances, give them up. Speak words of forgiveness. Even if you don't believe them or you don't mean them, speak them, and then speak them again and again. And God will honor your attempt, and you will begin to heal, and your heart will begin to change. And then you will be able to be the instrument through which God effects change. Be safe, be aware, and pray well. And be sure to check the comments to find today's song pick and leave a comment or share so that our streamers know we are watching. Have a wonderful day.